Hello everyone, today I'm making yet another video about the 1977 Quasar VX format. Well, when I say 77, I mean at least in the United States. This format was actually released way back in 1975 in Japan by the national company that made machines. Now in the US, it was the Quasar company, which is actually part of Motorola. Now, there's quite a few reasons why I'm making yet another video about this format. Now, I've noticed that this format does not receive as much love as others that were around during this time. That would be, for example, Betamax, for example, V-Cord2. I mean, even U-Matic. I mean, U-Matic was still being used. U-Matic was used for a long time, but it's been shown, it's been given a lot of love. I mean, you might call it love. I mean, that's what I call it. I've noticed that there's a big lack of information on this format as well as a big lack of help regarding the machines. Now, I was just on a forum. It's a wonderful forum. It's an online forum. It's the oldvtrs.io forum. Now, somebody has a mint quality machine regarding this format and they're trying to sell it. Now, I did my best to kind of explain to them how they can determine if it's working or not. Because I know if you can determine that a machine is working, the value of it goes way up, a whole lot more than if you just sell a machine and you state, oh, I'm selling it as used for parts, no warranty at all. I know that there are currently 3 machines regarding this format on eBay, but none of them state if they're working or not. Now, believe it or not, I do own 3 of these machines. Yes, I know it's crazy. I mean, why would you need to have 3 machines? I mean, especially since I actually don't consider this format to be my favorite. I mean, not at all. I mean, the video quality on this format is quite low. I'm gonna say it's on par with VHS SLP mode, which is it's infamous. Nobody really likes the SLP mode because it's very low resolution quality video. I mean, that's regarding the VHS, which, I mean, VHS, it was the king. It won. I mean, compared to this, actually, VHS was released a couple months after this format was released in the United States. So, yes, I mean, as soon as VHS came out, it had much better resolution than this right here. So, this obviously failed quite miserably. All right, now let me really focus on this very well. Now, I gotta tell you right now, all of my videos, they're very long, they're very detailed. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about YouTube. When you're on YouTube, you're the teacher. It's your time to shine. You're as free as you wish to go off topic as you like. I mean, there's some forums that as soon as you go off topic, you get banned, you get discouraged, you get kind of like a slap on the hand. But not YouTube. I mean, YouTube, it's the best. I've said that before and I'll continue to say it again. YouTube, it's the best. All right. Now, let me show you this right here because this is quite a sight right here. All right. Now, this is my stack of Quasar VX format videotapes. Now, that right there is a total of 84. Now, it took me a long time to buy these many. I've been collecting this format for the past 4 years. And still, it's not my favorite format to collect, but even though it's not my favorite, I still like it quite a bit. So I do own a total of 84 videotapes. Now, I have been uploading those videos to my video page, and they range between rodeo shows, that would be TV news station reports, Walt Disney specials, anniversary specials, as well as there was a Bing Crosby recording. I mean, I really wanted to upload that Bing Crosby recording to my video page, but I found the perfect home for it. It's a William Holden fan page because William Holden actually talks during that special, that televised special. So I actually sent that video to someone else to place on their channel. All right, so I do own a total of 3 of these machines right now. Now, this is quite a sight. I have a total of 3 machines right there. Now, this is the first one that I purchased. I actually purchased this one quite a long time ago. It's been about 2 years now. And it works incredibly well. I've actually been buying more as sort of like a backup, just in case this one fails, it stops working. But I mean, it just keeps going and going. I mean, I gotta tell you the truth. This format compared to others that were around during the time, that would be, for example, the V-Cord2. Now, the V-Cord2, they're incredibly hard to fix, and I'm gonna say most of them do not work. But I've noticed that every single machine that I've bought based on this format, every single one works because they were, I mean, they are big, they are heavy, they're bulky. I mean, I can tell you the truth, they're quite ugly. I mean, I love comparing videotape machines to cars. And this is a AMC Gremlin, which, I mean, the AMC Gremlin, it was not the nicest looking car there was. I mean, it was quite ugly, to tell you the truth, but I mean, still, this machine, this format, it still deserves to be respected and celebrated. All right, so this is the first machine that I purchased. It works very well. I use it quite a bit. I actually love using that machine when I come home after work. I work in the electrical field, and it's quite a you deal with a lot of numbers, a lot of blueprints, and it's quite hectic. By the end of the day, you just want to forget everything about work, and I love coming home to these machines and using them. When I bought this machine, it cost me about $450. That was about 2 years ago. Now, this is the second one that I purchased. I bought this one not too long ago. It's been about 3 months now. This one actually came with videotapes. There were a total of 7 videotapes, and one of those 7 was actually that Bing Crosby recording that I actually sent to someone else. It does work as well. Now, I did repair the insides, but not the exterior. As you can tell, it's pretty dirty, it's pretty dusty. I still have to polish it, which I don't really do right away because it would be awful to go ahead and fix the exterior of a machine, even though the insides do not work. Now, all of these machines, they have their original belts. I mean, the belts for this format, for these machines, they're pretty thick, they're very strong, they're rigid. I mean, obviously they're not as rigid as, for example, the belts on a Cartrivision machine, which I do own. I do own a total of 3 Cartrivision machines, which I do plan to make videos about, but not yet. I'm still waiting on that because I'm actually planning on making a triple stacked format video where I compare the video output on 3 formats, which all 3 had double stacked video reels. This is one of them, as well as Cartrivision, as well as the European VCR format. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but that's going to be a couple months from now. I don't really want to focus on that project yet. I really want to show these machines. Now, another reason why I'm making this video is because I've noticed that my videos regarding this format have been receiving thumbs down. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's fine. If you want to place thumbs down on my videos, I mean, this is a democracy and people have spoken. But guess what? I'm going to keep making more videos about this format because those thumbs down that I receive, they actually fuel my fire. They make me want to make more videos about this format. All right, so far that's our 2 that I've purchased so far, but this is the 3rd. Now, this one cost me about $500, but the wonderful thing about this purchase is because it actually came together with a total of 27 videotapes. I mean, for $500, those 27 videotapes alone are well worth the $500 because I've noticed that these videotapes, the VX format videotapes, they do range in price in the here and now. They range in price between $20 and $40 each. So I actually did the math and I realized I have to buy that because the videotapes alone are well worth the $500. All right, now I don't want to make this video too long, but still it is going to be quite long. What I really want to show you is those videotapes because they have incredibly special recordings. Now, this format, the Quasar VX format in the United States, it was called the Great Time Machine. And it really was a great time machine because those historical old vintage recordings that were made on this format, they do in fact make this machine into a time machine. It makes your screen turn to like into a window to the past. It's a wonderful concept regarding this hobby. Now, I do consider this a hobby. Now, I do not charge to digitize this format or any formats that I collect. I actually digitized a video that would be a home video made with the Quasar camera for someone in the East Coast. That was about 4 days ago. Now, I did send the video via the WeTransfer.com service. It's a wonderful service that allows you to send videos via the internet, because you can always send it, for example, via email, but there is a limit. There's no way you can send a 2 gigabyte file via an email. There is a limit. All right, now let me really focus on those videotapes. Now, those videotapes came in this box. All right, now notice it says eBay on that sticker, because yes, I'm gonna say about, well, it's a big percentage. I'm gonna say about 95% of all of my vintage technology machines, they come from eBay. It's a wonderful service that we happen to have in the here and now. Now, my father actually practiced this hobby way back in the 80s and the 90s. But back in those days, there was no eBay. It was a lot more difficult to find these machines. You had to go to auctions, estate sales, garage sales, yard sales, flea markets. But now in the here and now, it's incredibly easy to buy these machines. And there are a total of 3 right now on eBay. And I gotta tell you, do buy them. All right, let me go ahead and open this right here. Now, I do plan to upload these videos onto my video page. I have been doing that for a couple days now. And I've been receiving wonderful comments about them. I mean, actually, I have been offered money, cash money, for all of my vintage recordings. And I actually declined it because I don't do this for the money. I've noticed that when you involve money into things, it brings back the worst in people. And I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna keep uploading these videos onto my video channel. And I don't expect any money out of it. I don't do this for the money. I do this for the history. I believe that these recordings, these historical recordings, they deserve to be digitized and preserved. All right, so let's check this out. I mean, this is what I really want to focus on this video. Beyond the machines, the fact that I own 3. Now, I actually don't need 3 machines. I'm thinking about, now I happen to hate selling. I don't like selling, but I do love giving away things. I do plan to give away 2 of these machines sometime next year. I'll probably make a posting, an online posting that would be on the oldvtrs.io forum. I mean, I'm gonna let people know that I have 2 machines that I don't really need. I don't absolutely need, because I've noticed that machine right there, the second one that I purchased, it works incredibly well, and it just keeps going and going. All right, so what do we have to? The Sound of Music Part 2. Yes, now this video, it's quite long. It's about 4 hours long. It actually comes in different parts because it was not possible to fit so much video onto a single tape or a disc. This video is in fact available on the Laserdisc, on the CED, RCA CED Selectavision format, and it always comes in 2 different discs because it's so long. This happens to have The Sound of Music Part 2. Now, I love knowing that these actually have commercials, wonderful commercials from the 70s. Oh, wonderful. See, I just opened this box. I didn't know exactly what was in here. Notice it says Video 30, VC30. Now, I didn't know that this existed. Now, I kind of have a theory, because there's not much information on this format. I have a theory that these VC30s were actually given to you with the machine. It was sort of like a way for you to test this format. It seems like you were not given either a 60-minute tape or a 100 or a 120. Now, this is a theory of mine because obviously I wasn't even born yet. I was born in 1982. That was way after this format was considered obsolete, way after it was stopped being sold. I suspect that these VC30s were given to you sort of like a way to test your machine. Wonderful thing. Now, not all of these tapes work off the bat. Some of them have damaged videotape. Let me show you some of that damaged videotape. Because the recording that I digitized a while ago, it had damaged videotape. And I actually had to remove the damaged areas because this format, the VX format, it absolutely hates having either crinkled or creased videotape. If you happen to have creased or wrinkled videotape, your machine is gonna stop completely because it's gonna determine that it's struggling too much. So I actually had to open the tapes. It's an involved process. It takes a while. I mean, it takes I haven't done it too often. I've done it about 6 times so far, and it takes me at least 20 minutes to open a tape, remove the damaged parts, and create a splice. So I don't know exactly how much tape I had to remove. This is probably a few seconds worth, which, I mean, it had to be done. If I did not remove this tape, the machine, it doesn't work at all. It completely stops. In order to avoid a misfortune of either snapping the tape or becoming incredibly clogged with videotape inside. So this is what I actually had to remove from the last tape that I digitized. Like I told you, if you need such a service. Now, I'm not a professional. For example, I'm not gonna convert it to 4K. I'm not gonna edit it. I'm not gonna colorize it, because believe it or not, the camera that was used for this format, the Quasar VX format, it was not a color camera. It was a black and white camera. That recording that I digitized was in fact in black and white. All right, I really want to show you that. All right, so let's keep seeing what we have here. We have another tape here. It looks like it was used quite a few times, because notice it says Red River, and then it was crossed off because it was recorded again. It says Red River with John Wayne, which is a film that was released in 1948. It says continued on Billy the Kid. Wow, these movies are very old, very old movies. But it seems it was recorded over. This actually says Christmas Carol. A Christmas Carol, yes. Incredibly iconic movie, especially during these times of the holidays. A Christmas Carol. Okay, this is a 120-minute runtime tape. It used to have Red River with John Wayne, but it was recorded over with A Christmas Carol. That would be with C. Scott. That would be the actor. Wonderful. I love knowing that these have commercials. Now, I would love to upload the actual videos, but I always get flagged by the copyright owners. But I always love uploading the commercials. I will, in fact, upload the commercials that are on this recording right here. All right. Now, let's keep seeing what else we have here. Okay, this is another 120-minute runtime tape. Yes, this doesn't have Billy the Kid from 1945 with Robert Taylor. It has That's Action Part 3, which is these are actually the times. These machines actually have timers, so this tells you exactly what timing the specific recording is located at. Gomer Sings. It has Red River, number 2. Wonderful. Yes, quite a few right in here. Actually says Quiet Man Part 2. Very old movies. All right, let's see what else we have here. Like I told you, the price that I paid for this package, the videotapes themselves are well worth it. Okay, this has Rocky Part 3. It's wonderful Rocky. Rocky had a whole lot of parts to it. Very iconic movies. Yes, Rocky Part 3. This is actually recorded on July 1st, 1983. So whoever owned this machine, they used it for a long time. Because even though it was released in the United States in 1977, whoever owned this was still using it in 1983. Now, by 1983, you had a whole lot better formats than this. For example, Beta, for example, VHS. They performed a lot better than this. But I know I've noticed that some people, they really love these machines. They kept using them. For example, I do plan to make quite a few machines regarding the Cartrivision format. Now, I've read many forums online that state that the Cartrivision format was only sold for about a year and a half. But I do have newsletters, actual printed newsletters. The paper is so old that it's yellowed. And they do in fact state that there were still people maintaining and using Cartrivision machines all the way till 1976, which is wonderful to read, because most of the online forums state that after 1970, I'm going to say 1974, somewhere in there, the Cartrivision machines were no longer either repaired, sold, or used. But I do have printed proof that states otherwise so. All right. See, that's the wonderful thing about YouTube. I'm talking about Cartrivision, and it doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with that, because this is my video. I can go off topic as much as I like. All right, what else we have here? This is another 120-minute videotape. It says Miracle on 34th Street. Wonderful Christmas music, Christmas song, Christmas films right here. It also has news about Natalie Wood's death. Okay, this is wonderful, because beyond films, beyond movies. I mean, movies, they're released all the time in newer formats. They're upgraded to 4K. They add, for example, behind the scenes footage. But those news reports, they're never re-released, because they go off into the air to the people's homes and they're kind of forgotten about. If somebody doesn't record them in that moment and saves them, they're pretty much gone into the ether. You'll never get to see them again. Now, I'm definitely going to upload this news report about the death of Natalie Woods. I mean, for sure. I believe that these very old recordings, they deserve to be digitized and preserved. It's one of the many reasons why I practice this hobby. All right. Let me kind of open this. I'm doing this kind of to kind of prove the fact, because I've been uploading videos to my channel, and I suspect that people don't really believe that they actually come from this format. But I'm actually showing it to you via video that yes, they are in fact in this format. Now, you'll notice that the video quality is quite low. That's because this format was not the best that was ever released. There were in fact better formats. Yes, Miracle on 34th Street, which I probably won't upload because I'll probably get flagged on that, because there is in fact a copyright ownership on this film. But I will definitely upload the commercials, and I will definitely upload this news report on the death of Natalie Woods. All right, wonderful. Let's keep going. I love making my videos because they're nice and long and detailed. I mean, there is no rush about this. All right. Now, thanks to this package, I officially own 111 VX format videotapes, even though it's not my favorite to collect. All right. This is another 120. This has Superman Part 2. Yes, incredibly iconic films, American films. All right. Now, Christopher Reeves, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. Wonderful actor. This has Superman 2, but at one time it actually had The Sea Chase from 1955 with John Wayne. Now, it seems like whoever used to own these tapes was a big John Wayne fan. I've actually seen images about these videotapes before I made this purchase. And there's some televised John Wayne recordings, which I do plan to upload. I've noticed that John Wayne still has a huge fan base, even in the here and now. All right, let's see what we have here. We have another 120-minute runtime tape. This has Chisholm, seen from On a Clear Day. Now, some of these films I have not seen yet. It's just going to be nice and fun to kind of view them while I'm capturing them. Because unfortunately, since this is analog, it's a real-time format. It's not like you can just copy and paste this onto a computer. You have to play them back in real time. It's going to take 2 hours to transfer this whole video to a digital format. What I love doing, I actually love watching those videos while they're being captured. So this has Schism with John Wayne, and it has a scene from On a Clear Day. All right, wonderful. Some of these have not been rewound. It doesn't really matter. All right. Now I gotta tell you, if you have one of these videotapes, but you don't have a machine and you think that buying a machine is way too expensive for you, or if you believe that maintaining the machine is way too complicated for you, I can digitize these videos for you and I won't charge you anything. Now, I know that some professional videotape digitizing services, they state clearly that if a videotape has mold, they will not accept it. Now, if you have a videotape and it happens to have mold, I don't really care. Send it in. I'll still digitize it. I don't mind, because I believe that the recordings that are in here are way more important than having mold on a machine. I mean, you just have to clean the machine after you digitize it. That's all it is. I guess they don't want to really struggle to have to clean their machine afterwards, which I really don't mind. I think it's fun. I think it's fun maintaining these old machines, which is something you don't really have to do on a modern day machine. For example, especially because everything's pretty much streamed from a cloud in the here and now. You pretty much don't have to maintain your smart TV after you watch a stream video. I mean, imagine having to clean whatever part it is on your television after you watch something on Netflix. That would be quite cumbersome. All right, now this has Casablanca. Now, so far I actually own Casablanca on quite a few formats. I own Casablanca on the VX format. I also own Casablanca on the V-Cord2 format. I also own it on the CVC micro video cassette format that was released back in 1980. But this also has, that's from 1942. It's a black and white film. It also has Tic-Tac-Doe. I don't know what that film is. And it has the bullet chase. Yes, very iconic. I mean, that bullet, that was a car. A very iconic car. A muscle car. Wonderful. I don't just want to show you the exterior box. I want to show you the actual tape to let you know that all of my Quasar VX uploads do in fact come from these videotapes. Casablanca with Humphrey Bogart, all the time winner. Tic-Tac-Doe, bullet chase scene as. Oh wow! Like yes. This is the money here. This is the gold. Now read this for yourself. It says Johnny Carson's foreign commercials. Now, yes, Johnny Carson. I mean, this is a huge fan base for Johnny Carson. I mean, even in the here and now. Now, I'm definitely going to upload this. It's something very special. let's keep seeing what we have here. This is yet another 120 minute. Now, these are the ones that I have the most of. The 120 minute, which are those right there. It's a huge stack right there, which I really love owning. Believe it or not, after I'm through digitizing these, I actually record onto them. Yes, it's something, I mean, why would you want to record on such an old format, such a format that has such low resolution? Such a format that's flawed. I mean, I can tell you the truth, this format is quite flawed. For example, it's pretty much impossible to get a 100% perfect video feed because the videotape that's in here, it's a pretty awful formulation. It's an oxide-based formulation. It's not the best that was around during the time. So many times when you get these black-carded artifacts all over the place, but I don't really mind. I mean, at least to me, I believe that an imperfect video feed is something sort of beautiful about that. There's sort of like this vintage aspect to it. For example, video editing software, it does in fact have options to kind of add effects that kind of make your video look like it was originally on a vintage videotape. But you can't beat the actual thing. I mean, if you actually record onto this, you'll get a true vintage look to it. Now this has Edge of Doom. That's from 1959. Very old films. Which I mean, it's physically impossible for me to upload these because like I told you, the copyright owners won't let me. But for sure, I will upload the commercials. So this has Edge of Doom. It says Dana Andrews with Farley Granger. Yes. That would be the actors that are in this film. Wonderful. What else do we have here? We have another one. Okay, this has Sound of Music Part 1. I just showed you the Part 2. It seems like we also have Part 1. We have both parts of the Sound of Music film, which is actually a musical. I've seen it quite a few times. Sound of Music Part 1. Now, whenever I watch this film, you kind of have to plan ahead because it's a very long film. It's not a short film. It's not an hour long, and it's not 2 hours. It's not 3 hours. It's about 4 hours long. It's a very long film. Similar to Titanic. Yes, Titanic is quite a long film. All right. Oh, yes. I mean, read this for yourself. I mean, if you're a fan of vintage recordings, take a look at this. This, in fact, says World Series. Yes, the World Series. Especially the old ones. Because, for example, the new recordings of the World Series, they're incredibly commercialized, especially the halftimes. The breaks, you get a whole lot of advertisements all over the place. You'll see advertisements on the everywhere. But I've noticed that these very old sports programs, they're different. They weren't really about the revenue. It was about the sport. So I do absolutely plan to upload this to my video page without any watermarks, without being edited, without adding my audio. I mean, I would love to add my audio comments to these videos, but they really don't deserve that. They deserve to be uploaded in their entirety. Yes, the World Series. I will definitely upload this right here. It actually did not come with the cover, which is fine. We still have a lot more in there. Now, this is another 120-minute runtime. This has Rocky 2. It's quite a long film. It looks like it was spanned between 2 tapes. Rocky 2. Wonderful film with Sylvester Stallone. All right, what else we have here? Another 120. It says MCO with John Wayne. Yes, like I told you, I suspect that the previous owner of these videotapes, as well as that machine right there, was a big John Wayne fan. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Now read this, please. If you own vintage videotapes and you've been thinking about uploading them to YouTube, please do. Read this. Now, this is Dean Martin Roast with John Wayne. Now, oh man. Now, man, this is worth gold. I'm gonna keep saying that because these recordings, I mean, I know they're old. I know that the resolution on them is quite low, but I mean that I know that there are still people that were around when this recording was broadcasted on the air, and I love knowing that they will have a chance to review this again. Remember those old times. All right. Yes. MCO with John Wayne. Now, I probably won't upload that because I'll probably get flagged for it. But I will definitely upload this Dean Martin Roast with John Wayne. It says a guest. Yes, John Wayne was a guest on the Dean Martin show. Wonderful, wonderful shows from back in the 70s. If you're a big fan of the 70s, you will love watching these. All right, what else do we have here? Oh wow, these are very old, especially since I happen to love both the sci-fi and the horror films. This actually has Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. It's a very old movie. It's a black and white movie, which I'm not a big fan of. I really love the color films, but I happen to love both the horror and the sci-fi films, so I do actually like these films. Yes, Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. I probably won't upload this because I'll probably get flagged for it, but I will definitely upload the commercials that there are on here. All right, let's keep going. We have quite a few more in here. Okay, it says North to Alaska, which is a 1960 film with John Wayne. It says the entire film was recorded onto this videotape. Now, I would love to upload this film, but actually this film, it's available on, for example, Blu-ray and DVD, stuff like that. So there really is no reason for me to upload this, but I will definitely upload the commercials. All right, North to Alaska with John Wayne. The entire film. Wonderful. All right. What else do we have in here? Okay. It says Houdini, which is a 1953 film with Tony Curtis, Part 2. That's Action with John Wayne. Yes, a lot of John Wayne films here. I mean, I wonder if I can just upload a couple seconds of this. Probably not, but I'll try. It says Houdini with Tony Curtis. That's a 1953 film. It has Part 2 of That's Action. It only has, I guess whoever recorded this, they really liked a specific part on this movie, so they only recorded a part of it with John Wayne. Only John Wayne scenes. Okay, yes. Whoever used to own this, they were a huge John Wayne fan because they only recorded the parts that included John Wayne. Continued on Billy the Kid. Yes. All right. This actually has Big Jake, which is a 1971 film with John Wayne. Yes, like I told you, there's a whole lot of John Wayne recordings here. This was actually recorded on April 1st, 1980. So yes, this machine was used for a long time after it was considered to be obsolete. And it also has Mod. I don't know what Mod is. It might be a movie or it might be a TV show. I'm not the biggest 1970s fan. I know Chris, if you're watching this film, obviously you probably know a lot more about this than I do. So yes, Big Jake, 1971 with John Wayne, recorded April 1st, 1980. I love when it says the actual date that it was recorded on, because I actually transferred that date to my video uploads on my channel. It's wonderful to know the date that these were recorded on. Regarding, for example, the commercials. Wonderful. It has a scene from the Ten Commandments. Oh yes, very iconic film, the Ten Commandments. Especially if you happen to be of the very religious person. Which I'm not. All right. It says Marlo Thomas. I don't know who that is. Now, it seems like this used to have The Longest Day with John Wayne. And it also used to have Martha's Christmas. Okay. I haven't actually played these because I'm actually just opening them right now. It's wonderful to see these recordings. Okay, so this has, yeah, what a mess, huh? Because these tapes were used quite a few times because these were not cheap back when they were released. Especially since this was recorded back in 1980. I'm pretty sure that by the time 1980 came around, it was probably very difficult to acquire these because they were pretty much being phased out. They were pretty much replaced by VHS. Like I told you, VHS is pretty much won. That would be the format wars. Oh yes, this is wonderful right here. This has the Wizard of Oz. Yes, the Wizard of Oz. I actually own the Wizard of Oz on many formats now. I own the Wizard of Oz on the VX format right here, but I also own it on the V-Cord2. Let me show you those V-Cord2 because I know it has nothing to do with this format, but that's the wonderful thing about YouTube. See that was pretty quick because I'm right in my living room / bedroom right now. I live in a tiny little studio. Now these are the V-Cord2 tapes. They're incredibly difficult to find in the here and now. I don't have many of these. I've actually given these for free to another collector, to Chris. Chris, if you're watching this, you know you have quite a few of these. I love knowing that you love recording onto these. I mean, besides being a collector myself, I love using these. I love recording onto these. I think it's something very fun to do. All right. So The Wizard of Oz. Yes, very iconic film for many reasons. Because the book, which this movie is based on, it's a wonderful book. Also, this was one of the very first films that were colorized. Before this film, most films were in black and white. Now, obviously, I wasn't around. I mean, no way. I wasn't around when Wizard of Oz came out. But I've read wonderful stories about people going to the theaters and watching this film in the theaters. And that very special moment when the film turns into color, the people were pretty much blown away. It was like something they had never experienced. Actually, this used to have Grease, which is another wonderful film. For some reason, whoever used to own this, they decided that The Wizard of Oz, which was more special than Grease, so they actually recorded over Grease with The Wizard of Oz, which it probably makes sense. I mean, Grease, it was shown way too much. I mean, I remember when back in the 80s, the Grease, the film, it was shown a whole lot of times on TV. Way too many times. Okay, this has Comancheros, which is a 1961 film with John Wayne. Yes, whoever used to own this was a huge John Wayne fan. Yes, Comancheros with John Wayne. I said Comancheros in my Spanish accent because I actually was born in Mexico. Now, actually today, this morning, Vicente Fernandez passed away. And my father, who used to practice this hobby, he loved Vicente Fernandez. He would sing his songs pretty often. So we lost Vicente Fernandez, a very huge icon of the Mexican folk music. Now this says Going My Way with Bing Crosby. Yes, Bing Crosby. I mean, okay, now I'm gonna try to send this to someone else because I'm pretty sure that they can use this a lot more than I can because it has Bing Crosby. I know Bing Crosby has a huge fan base in the here and now. Now this we recorded back in April 6, 1980. I'm almost done here. It has Going My Way with Bing Crosby, but it also has oh wow. It has Bing Crosby singing White Christmas with his family. Well, yes, I mean, I would love to upload this, but I'm going to send this to someone else because I know that there are other fans that have dedicated Bing Crosby channels on their YouTube pages. They can use this a lot more than I can. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, wow, this is wonderful. This is the World Series from 1984. The whole thing, the complete thing, not just little parts. I've noticed that on some sporting events from back in the 70s, back in the 80s, you'll only see this very short clippets, this couple minutes, like 6 minutes, 4 minutes here and there. But this has the whole thing, the complete World Series from 1984. Now, I'm definitely going to upload this to my video page. Actually, this used to have the movie Chill with John Wayne, but it was recorded over with the World Series from 1984. Wonderful. All right, what else do we have here? It says Johnny Mathias Christmas Special, and it also has Longest Day Part 2. Oh, wow, look at this. It says Bugs Bunny. I know that some Bugs Bunny cartoons have been banned because technically they have scenes that are required kind of stereotypical. They're even borderline racist. But I'm gonna love watching this because Bugs Bunny is incredible. I mean, I love Bugs Bunny for many reasons. For example, the concept of being bullied it still happens in the here and now. Now, Bugs Bunny, I know he was a cartoon, he wasn't real, but whoever created Bugs Bunny, the creators always tried to teach small children not to be bullied because Bugs Bunny, he was always bullied by someone or other. But Bugs Bunny, he was smart. He could outsmart the bullies. Yes, wonderful. Okay, now this has Somewhere in Time. This has quite a few recordings. It has Somewhere in Time. It also has Frankie Lane. It has Rock Around the Clock. Well, that's probably Elvis. Rock Around the Clock. Red Skeleton. It has quite a few recordings. I mean, even just by reading that phrase, Rock Around the Clock, it makes me kind of want to dance around. Because, yes, Elvis's music is very wonderful music. Yes, Somewhere in Time, Frankie Lane, Rock Around the Clock, and Red Skeleton. Wonderful. Like I told you, I know that there are other formats like the beta format, the U-Matic format. I mean, they also have wonderful recordings. But this format, the VX format, it also has wonderful recordings. And I'm going to try my best to upload all of these. Probably not all of them because these recordings are in fact copyrighted. Okay, this has The Searchers with John Wayne. That's a 1956 film. And it has That's Action Part 1. Wonderful. I just want you to see this so you can believe me that the recordings I upload to my video page, they do in fact come from this format. And I'm gonna keep buying more of these tapes if I find more. Okay, this has Rio Lobo with John Wayne. That's a 1970 film, which is probably one of the last films that he's made. Yes, Rio Lobo with John Wayne from 1970. Wonderful. All right, so last but not least, when I say least, is I'm gonna keep buying more of these guys because I think that the recordings that are on here are very special. This has The Horse Soldiers with John Wayne. Okay, Ronald Reagan. Now, I actually saw this image right here when I bought this package. Ronald Reagan, the president. Now, Ronald Reagan, he would do something that, for example, Bing Crosby used to do. He would invite people to his home, which is the White House. Obviously, during Christmas, during Thanksgiving, so you can kind of see what his life is like inside the White House. Now, this has such a recording, which I will definitely upload to my video page. Besides this having the Horse Soldiers with John Wayne, it also has Ronald Reagan, Thanksgiving. Yes, wonderful. This will be the last videotape that I show you before I stop this video. Yes, The Horse Soldiers with John Wayne from 1959, but also, oh wow, this has more details that I never saw on that eBay video posting. It says, interview of President-elect Ronald Reagan, Thanksgiving. So yes, when this recording was made, he was the president-elect. He was barely getting into the White House. Yes, wonderful history here. Wonderful recordings that I don't know if this is available on YouTube, but I'm going to definitely upload this. All right. So that pretty much concludes this video right here, which I'm actually doing for a few reasons. I'm kind of doing this to kind of inspire others to collect this format, because I've noticed that this format, it doesn't get much love compared to others. Thank you so much.